So welcome to my deep sleep yoga practice. And this is a practice that I love to do, and it can actually be done in the comfort of your own bed, which makes it a really good practice to do for when you wake up at, those times during the middle of the night. It's not a very long practice. It should take you about 25 to 30 minutes. And there's not much that you'll need. One thing that I do like is this red inflatable ball. It's a ball about 8 to 10 inches. It has a little bit of give to it. So it's very nice for when we go to do the abdominal massage. And if you don't have one, don't worry, just leave out that part of the practice. So let's begin. So we're going to begin by lying flat down onto the earth. And I like to have a pillow, a cushion underneath my head. It's nice, particularly if your back is a little bit sore, just to have the knees bent and the feet flat on the surface or on your bed. And then go ahead and just place your hands onto your abdomen. And let your eyes close over. And take a few moments just to tune into the rhythm of your breath. So just noticing the rise and fall of your abdomen as you inhale and as you exhale. It can be nice in the exhalation just to allow the back of the body to begin to melt down into the support beneath you. And we're going to continue with that breath for a little while. And I like to use this breath during a lot of my poses. Or it can be simply used on its own as an individual part of the practice. So keeping your right hand onto your abdomen, left hand just slightly above it. On the next inhalation, just feeling the rise of the abdomen as you inhale. Going to hold the breath there for a moment or two. And then as you exhale, just noticing the abdomen as it begins to release down towards the back of the body. And just continuing to follow the rise and fall of the abdomen. That easy flow and rhythm of the inhalation, of the exhalation. And particularly to notice on the exhalation, how the whole back of the body can begin to melt down. You might like to just bring in a little bit of attention up around the nostrils so that as you inhale, you're inhaling through the nostrils. As you exhale, you're exhaling through the nostrils. Drawing that inhalation deep into the belly. Holding it there for a moment or two. And this time as you exhale, we're going to practice the 3-stage exhalation. So you're going to exhale, pause, exhale, pause, exhale and empty. Waiting for the inhalation to come in. Belly rising up with the inhalation. Again, holding the breath there for a couple of moments. Exhale, pause. Exhale, pause. Exhale and empty out completely. So continuing with this breath. Allowing the exhalation to become longer and deeper. Allowing the inhalation to become smoother, more regulated. Remember to continue breathing in and out through the nose. Each inhalation drawing as much oxygen into the abdomen, holding it there for a moment or two. And then in the exhalation, exhale, pause, exhale, exhale and empty. So when I'm practicing this breathing, I like to begin my yoga practice with about 10 minutes of this yoga breathing. It really allows me just to begin to settle and to perhaps notice the places in my body that I'm not breathing into. I'll just take a couple more rounds here, tuning into that deeper, slower breath. Feeling the calming of the nervous system, particularly as you breathe out. And as you allow the body and the back of the body to sink down into your support, you begin to feel a slow settling in your nervous system. One or two more rounds. Very slight pause in between the 3-stage exhalations. And let's finish off with this round. So deep inhalation, belly ballooning up with the breath. Holding it there for a moment or two. Exhale, slight pause. Exhale, slight pause. Exhale and empty out completely now. Good. So we're going to continue to bring this breathing practice into the movements. And the first movement that they're going to do is going to be concentrating on the abdomen and on the hips. So very simply now, just bring your right foot to rest on top of the left knee. You can begin just to place your right hand onto the right knee and just simply butterfly, do a little butterfly movement with the knee, with the fingers on the knee. In that simple way, just beginning to open out the hips. And this is the first stage of the hip openers. And if your hips feel very tight or if your back is sore, it might be best just to settle into this routine here. But if you'd like to go a little bit deeper, just pausing that butterflying and going ahead and bringing the left knee in towards the chest. Now taking both hands either side of the left leg, interlocking your hands behind that left knee and letting the left foot just relax down into the earth. So we're going to be holding this position for a little while. Let's get back into the 3-stage exhalation as we do this. So again, that full deep breath into the belly. Belly ballooning up with the breath, holding it there for a moment or two. And again, 3-stage exhalation. Settling down, easing out, and letting go. So if you'd like to continue this breath for about 4 or 5 rounds by yourselves, breathing into the belly and also breathing into the tightness in the hips. For some of you that are a little bit more flexible, what you might like to do is just take the hands over the knees. And settle into the position and continue with the breath. So feeding the whole body, the belly, the hips, the lower back, with that slow, deep inhalation. And the slow, deep exhalation, allowing us to release and settle. Good. So let's just finish off whatever round of breathing that we're on now. And from there, just go ahead, unhook the hands, bring the feet down onto the earth. Good. And let's go ahead and do the other side now. So simply bringing the left foot on top of your right knee. A little bit of butterflying just to begin to open out the hips, to open out the abdominal area. And then when you feel ready, and just pause there, bring the right knee in towards the chest, hook the hands behind the right knee, and again settle into it. So as we settle in, you might be feeling kind of a stretch into the hips. So breathing along with the stretch, breathing into the stretch. Because it's in those areas of tightness that we're actually holding our tension. So if you use our inhalation to draw the breath deep into those places of tension, and as we exhale, to feeling like we're emptying out the pockets of tension with each deep, slow exhalation. For those of you who feel a little bit more flexible, just go ahead, take the hands over the top of the knees. And again, to settle in with your breath. Easing down and letting go. You may find here now with the knees in towards the chest that you're able to squeeze out the toxicity from around the abdomen. You might even find that you're able to breathe a little bit more deeply into the upper chest. So let it be a whole body experience, whole body breathing experience. You might like to bring a little bit of attention into the next few breaths, into the upper shoulders, so that this time as you exhale, you're allowing the weight of these shoulders to melt down into the earth. Allowing the back of the neck to begin to soften and relax. Good. One last round of the deep breath. Good. And then just unclasping the hands, bringing both feet down onto the earth, settling back down, and getting ready for the next pose. So for the next pose, what we're going to be doing is bring both knees in towards us once again. Take your left hand now and reach down to grab hold of your right ankle. From there, holding on to your right foot, right ankle, let the right knee begin to come down towards the earth. Now for some of you, it may just come to about there. So what you might like to do is just place a pillow underneath the thigh, just to give yourselves a little bit of support. Otherwise, just go ahead and let that right knee begin to settle down. Take a breath or two here. And if you want to go a little bit deeper into the pose, we're going to bring our left foot and place it over beside the right knee. Taking your right hand, and again, just going back into the butterfly movement that you did earlier. And at a certain stage, you might like to just keep the hands plugged in there a little bit, pushing that left knee away from you. Tuning back into the breath again. 3-stage exhalation. Lovely. That breath slowing itself down. Ending that part of the breath, just taking the right hand onto the belly. And then you're going to begin a slight belly twist. So that means that this left knee begins to come all the way down towards your support. So let it find the support beneath you, whether that's your bed or the floor. You can slowly, as you might see me doing here, Let the body just roll itself over. The head moves, the shoulder moves. We're trying to keep as much of that left shoulder in contact with your support as well. And you might like to allow the head to completely come over onto your right side. Or going into a bit of a twist, bringing the head over towards the left side. And as you begin to bring the head over towards the left side, you're beginning to unwind the upper vertebrae. So if it feels okay for your neck, if you have no injuries, you can go ahead and do this one. Again, staying with the 3-stage exhalation. Focusing on the rise and fall of the abdomen. Great, we'll just finish off that round of breathing. Rolling ourselves all the way back to the center and changing position. So this time now, the left foot comes over all the way over towards the left side. We grab hold of the left ankle with the left hand and we draw that left foot upwards so that the knee can begin to descend down towards our support. As you inhale now, you're going to bring your right arm up overhead. Take a deep breath. Hold it there now. You're going to feel the breath coming into the right side of the ribs. Hold it there for a moment or two. And again, as you exhale, go into the 3-stage exhalation. Particularly focusing on your right shoulder beginning to melt down into the support beneath you. Let the back of the neck begin to relax. And do make sure that your head feels aligned, your neck feels aligned. So if you have any sense of your chin jutting up towards the ceiling like this, it's just a sign that you need another pillow or two. So do make sure that your head is aligned with the rest of the spine. Because it's said that when the head is jutting upwards, that it begins to produce more thoughts in the mind. So draw it down, let it lengthen. Let yourselves breathe. So we're going to end this part, this side. So just finishing off that breath that you're on now. Bring your right hand all the way back down to the center. Allowing both knees to come back onto your support once again. Just taking a moment or two to settle back into your body and just to feel the effect of that part of the practice. Good. And then from there, let's go on all the way over towards the other side. So bringing the left knee in, catch hold of the left foot with the right hand, and then very slowly letting that left knee begin to descend its way down towards your support. 1 or 2 breaths here now. So we're coming back into the breath, into the belly, and you might find it resting and beginning to allow the upper body to open out, particularly around the upper abdomen. Good. Some of you might choose to stay here. And if you want to go a little bit deeper into the practice, go ahead and bring your right foot. Place it on the opposite side of the left knee. Left hand comes onto the left knee, left thigh. And you just begin that slow kind of butterflying effect. Just to open out the hips, open out the lower belly. And after you've done that, maybe about 10 or 12 times, you pause there. You push that left knee away. And you feel the stretch through the whole side of that right thigh. And again, for those of you that feel very comfortable in this pose, just one little last thing that you might like to do is to go ahead and grab hold of the right ankle with your left hand. Good. keep on continuously allowing that right knee to be drawn away from you. Stay breathing slow and deep. Lovely. Now releasing that right ankle. Hand comes to rest onto the belly. And from there, just go ahead and roll all the way over towards the left side now. So you're going to be rolling back and forth, in and out of position. And you might like to use your left hand just to give yourselves a little bit more weight so that that right knee can continue to come all the way down towards your support. And what I love about these twists is that they really squeeze out the toxicity from the abdomen. And what you might begin to hear is little gurgles in the belly. There's a medical term for this. It's called bruxismus. And really what it means is that the tension around the organs are beginning to relax. So if you do hear rumbles in the belly, really, really good sign that you're beginning to let go. We could take a few more breaths here now. Again, either looking up towards the ceiling or allowing the head to roll over towards the right shoulder. Twisting and unwinding the upper vertebrae. Allowing the tension to be squeezed out from the upper vertebrae, the cervicals, that run into the base of the spine. Right. Let's come all the way back to the center now. Good. Bring both feet to stand up. And then go ahead, reach down, right foot, right ankle. Draw that right foot back so that the right knee can come down onto your support now. If you like, you can go ahead and bring your left arm up overhead. And this is going to allow you to take a deeper breath into the left side of the body. So feeling that breath coming all the way into the left side of the body, the left ribs. Again, you might like to hold it there for a moment or two. And as you exhale, go ahead and do the 3-stage exhalation. Smoothing out the ragged edges of the nervous system. Smoothing out the tensions that gather around the upper chest, the ribs, the shoulders. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and finish off this round of breathing. Bring our left hand all the way right down to the side. The right foot comes to join the left. And again, we just take a moment to settle into ourselves. Just to notice the parts of the body that have opened out. And preparing ourselves for the next part of the practice. So the next part of the practice is the abdominal massage with the inflatable red balloon or ball. So with this ball, we're going to be rolling over onto our bellies in a moment or two, but I just want to talk you through the practice a little bit and the reason why we do it. So when you're lying onto your belly with the ball on top, what you're going to be finding is that the ball is going to press into the belly. And as we roll from side to side, in effect, you're giving yourself an abdominal massage. And why this is so good, particularly in relation to sleep, is that as it begins to release the anxieties and the toxicities in the abdomen, it gives a chance for that really important chemical called serotonin, which is actually produced in the belly, to actually be kick-started into more protection. So even though serotonin is really important by itself, at night time, the serotonin changes into melatonin. And melatonin is actually the chemical that we need to produce those feelings of drowsiness and sleep. So let's go ahead and begin the practice. So just roll over all the way over onto your right side. So coming up, you can bring your left knee in towards you. And if you're going to use it, you can get your red inflatable ball now and just place it right in the center of the abdomen. So just right where the navel is. Come ahead then and bring your elbows down onto the floor and just begin a little bit of rocking from side to side. So you'll notice here now, I'm just doing about an inch or two. I'm just slowly beginning to ease myself down onto the ball more and more. So getting into deeper stretches in the belly, large and small intestine, particularly. If that pressure feels okay for you, you can go ahead and bring your left knee straight out in front of you. Roll directly onto the ball. So the center of the ball now is in line with your navel. And from here, simply, you're going to roll all the way over towards the right hip. So the right hip comes down onto your support. And very slowly, all the way over onto the left side. And just continuing to go like this, rolling from side to side. And what you'll find is that with the belly, we'll push into the ball, and the ball will push into the belly, and it begins to empty out the toxicities. Begins to empty out the anxiety, so more serotonin can be produced. And as I said earlier, this results in the melatonin, it being changed into melatonin at night time. So when I'm practicing this at home and myself in bed, I like to do this for about 5 to 10 minutes. So I can spend quite a long time here. And you might find that the abdomen is a little bit tender, which is really just saying that there's tension in the belly. Unless you have a medical condition that you need, obviously, to check it out. But there can often be kind of tightness in the tissues and the muscles. And as we begin to roll from side to side, the tenderness begins to slowly decrease. Right. On the next breath now, just rolling all the way over towards the right. And bringing your left knee back in again. Tucking under your right toe. And you can just begin to rock a little bit more from side to side. So bring in a little bit more of the shaking. Again, a couple of minutes here is perfect. Coming back to the center, left leg extends down. Tucking into both toes now. Both toes. And again, you're directly over the ball. So the navel is in the center of the ball. You're going to lift the knees off of your support and just simply roll up and down. And just knowing that the longer you stay here, the deeper structures you begin to influence. Again, you might like to do this for about 15 times up and down. A little bit of discomfort is to be expected, but too much, just take a pause, just leave out this part of the practice. Good. Let's come back to the center, knees come down, untuck the toes, and go ahead and move over towards the other side. So right knee now comes up, and again, just beginning to rock a little bit from side to side. Tuck under your left toe, and again, you can just bring in a little bit more rocking into that side of the body. So shaking up the stagnation. Shaking up the deeper pockets of tension. Now you might see that I'm actually changed the rolling position to glide up and down a little bit. Good. Coming back to the center. Bring your right knee down, rolling yourself over, and just go ahead and pluck the red ball out from underneath you. Stay laying on your belly. We're going to once again bring the left knee up. So as close in towards the body as you can. Left hand now slides its way underneath. as far out as you possibly can. You keep on sliding it out until the head either comes down onto your cushion or it can rest lightly just onto your forearm. You can stay with that slow, deep breathing, allowing the lower back to release, back of the hips to stretch themselves out. Coming back to the center, left hand slides out, keeping the left knee exactly where it is. You're just going to turn around so that the face looks up towards the ceiling and the whole upper body begins to twist over towards your left side. And from here, what I like to do is to use my right elbow to push it into the structure beneath me. And that allows me to twist a little bit more. Good. I can place my right hand onto my left knee then. Let it rest down. Good. Again, as we stay tuned into our bodies, we notice the places that it feels good to go to. And we notice the places that it's good to back off from. So really trust. Trust in what feels right for you. Trust in what feels releasing for you. And again, if we wanted to go a little bit deeper, we could just reach down for that bottom foot and grab hold with your hand and let it settle down onto the earth. It's just an extra stage of the practice. So let's stay with a 3-stage exhalation. Slowing itself down. Good, finishing off that round. And letting go of the foot. Straightening it back out. Rolling back onto your abdomen once again. Good. All the way over. Left leg comes down. Right knee comes in. And we do the very same on the other side. So right hand stretches itself all the way over. Head comes down onto your pillow or onto your forearm. And continue with the 3-stage exhalation. For some people, this can be quite a strong stretch in the shoulders, so again, chin inwards. Just to notice, okay, is this a strong stretch or is it too much for me? Slow, deep breath. Continuing to breathe in and out through the nose. Good. Finishing off that round of breath. Coming back to the center. Right knee comes down. And then just return. Rolling back onto your back once again. Taking your right hand now, rolling a little bit over towards the left. And taking that right hand up the back. So you can see from here, you just let it stretch out. The palm of the hand, when you come back, is actually going to be flat onto the earth. Good. Left hand does the very same. So you can just arch the back. Bring that left hand up as far as you possibly can. And I notice that this hand is hard to extend up through the length of my back. I've had multiple injuries on my right side, so you might find that one hand is much easier to glide up the back than the other. So again, we just trust our own bodies. And from here now, what you'll find is that the 2 shoulder heads are beginning to roll themselves back. And we're going to help that happen a little bit more by taking the breath right up into the upper chest. So as we inhale, draw the breath right up into the upper chest. Hold it there for a moment or two. You might let it draw in the belly. hold the breath. And then exhale, pause. Exhale, pause. Exhale and empty. And again. Really giving time for the upper body to settle into its support. So that means that with the out breath, you're just allowing the upper shoulders to melt themselves down. Back of the neck to relax and release. Jaw releasing. So just notice around the whole jaw structure now, whether you're clenching the teeth together. Can you let the jaw unhinge and the teeth just slightly separate? Good. Letting the eyes begin to melt towards the back of the head. And the creases in the brow center to unfurl, to spread themselves out. One or two more rounds of this 3-stage exhalation. Finishing off, and then just simply rolling a little bit over towards the left side so you can take the right hand out. Rolling a little bit over towards the right side so you can take the left hand out. There you go. Settling in once again. Drawing your left knee in towards your chest. Right knee follows. And from there, just rolling all the way over towards our right side. You might like to bring the right hand to rest onto the knees. Head lifts and turns to look all the way out towards that left shoulder. Good. I'm really concentrating on allowing the lower body, knees to settle down into your support. Weight of the thighs settling down. Whole right side of the body melting itself back down. Easing down and letting go. I would take about 5 or 6 rounds of the 3-stage exhalation here. And then taking my right hand away, bring both knees back to the center. Bringing them back in towards the chest once again. A little bit of rocking from side to side. And then simply, either with the arms outstretched as we did earlier, or with the knees continuing to hug in towards the chest, we roll all the way over towards our left side. Good. Make sure our feet and our knees find our support first of all, and we can rest our left hand on top of our knees. And then very simply go ahead. Turn the head all the way over towards our right hand. And extend our right hand. Good. Again, connecting back into our breath. Connecting back into now allowing our right shoulder to melt itself down into the earth. Right arm completely letting itself go. Jaw relaxing and releasing. And again checking, are my eyes melting towards the back of my head? And you might like to imagine that you have an inner pair of eyelids. Can you allow your inner eyelids to close over? Your eyebrows to soften and melt once again. And to feel the back of the neck slowly, slowly, slowly lengthening and expanding. Lovely, rolling the head all the way back to the center. Rolling the knees back to the center. And for final time now, just crossing over the ankles, knees come back in towards the chest. Let's rock from side to side. Deep breath. Once again, all the way down into the lower belly. Letting the belly expand. And as we exhale, weight of the hips melting themselves down. From here now, letting the feet come down back onto your support. If you're in your bed, letting them slide all the way down. Letting the hands either rest lightly on the thighs, on the abdomen, wherever feels right. And for some of you right now, you might already be in sleep mode. So you might like to just curl over onto your side and go into rest. Or you might like to follow me for the next stage. And our next stage of the practice is a Yoga Nidra. So from here I'm going to guide you into the Yoga Nidra practice. There's nothing that you need to do here. Just as I guide you through the different body parts, you let your attention rest there for a moment before we move on to the next stage. So simply beginning now and bringing your attention into the right side of your body. So bring your attention into your right hand thumb, the second finger, third, fourth, fifth, and back of the hand, palm of the hand, the wrist, the lower arm, elbow, upper arm, the right shoulder, armpit, right side of the body, the right hip, right thigh, right knee, the right calf muscle, ankle, heel, sole of the right foot, the right big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and fifth. Taking a long, cool drink of breath, drawing it right down through the right side of the body. Holding the breath there for a moment or two. And then as you exhale, just allowing the right side of the body to completely melt itself down into the earth. Lovely. Just letting your attention come over into the left side of the body now. And into the left hand thumb. The second finger. Third. Fourth. Fifth. And the back of the hand. Palm of the hand. The wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, the shoulder, armpit, left side of the body, the left waist, hip, thigh, kneecap, calf muscle, ankle, heel, sole of the left foot, the left big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and fifth. Go ahead now and take a deep breath through the left side of the body. Allowing the left side to fill completely with calming, nourishing, soothing energy. Holding the breath there for a moment or two. And then as you exhale, allowing the left side of the body to completely melt itself down into the support, your bed beneath you. Continue now with that slow, deep breath. Allowing your body to slow itself down, the nervous system to settle even more.